As we know, your visit to China and the meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping were very successful and fruitful. Antigua and Barbuda is one of the first countries in the Eastern Caribbean to set the diplomatic ties with China. Since the establishment of the diplomatic ties 41 years ago, the political, economic, trade, and cultural relations between two countries have grown steadily, and the two countries have always supported and respected each other, setting a good example of equal treatment and win-win cooperation between small and big countries. So how do you evaluate the gains of the development in all these fields that I have mentioned?
Yeah, thank you very much. As you indicated, we've had a very successful visit to China in which we would have signed up to 10 cooperation agreements in various areas of our development. And we believe as a result of the execution of those agreements that we will be enhancing and strengthening, broadening the bilateral relationship between Antigua and Barbuda and the People's Republic of China. As you indicated, Antigua and Barbuda and the People's Republic of China have enjoyed very strong diplomatic relations for the last 41 years. I mean, China has demonstrated that notwithstanding the asymmetries in size, in power, and resources between Antigua and Barbuda and the PRC, that they have exercised full respect and have treated us with the type of respect that we have not seen in other relationships where you have these power symmetries. In fact, I'll go as far as stating that even in our own hemisphere, we have seen powerful countries treating smaller ones with contempt. It is quite impressive that, you know, a large developing country in a different hemisphere has shown that level of respect for the third smallest country in the world and its leadership. And I believe that that type of respect and mutual trust would have built the relationship over the last 41 years.
As we know, Antigua and Barbuda is the first country in the Eastern Caribbean to sign the Memorandum of Standing with China on Belt and Road Initiative, which has brought tangible benefits to the two peoples. And for example, China and Antigua and Barbuda has a lot of construction projects in cooperation. For example, the hospital, the port, and the international airport. So, in your opinion, in what areas the initiative between two countries has achieved fruitful results?
Well, you have just named a couple of them. By helping us to build out our socio-economic infrastructure, PRC would have helped our country to increase its rate of growth, to earn more revenues, and obviously to improve the living standards of our people. As a consequence of those investments, we've been able to attract a significant increase in trade. So those investments were very important. As you know, the level of economic activity is also based on the quality of infrastructure. More recently, they would have approved a significant grant to provide social housing to the most vulnerable in our country. So you can see that under the Belt and Road Initiative and the Global Development Initiative that the PRC has been delivering tangible benefits to developing countries globally. And from that standpoint, we are thankful and we're certainly grateful.
Especially during your visit to China, you attended the China, Antigua and Barbuda Trade and Investment Cooperation Forum, and you have listed more than 10 opportunities in transportation, agriculture, health care, and education for China. So in your opinion, what achievements have achieved between China and Antigua and Barbuda in this area?
Yeah, so we also executed a trade and investment agreement as we seek to increase trade and investments between Antigua and Barbuda and the PRC. There are some specific areas of cooperation that we're pursuing. We would have met with a number of business entities in the PRC. You have some firms within the PRC that are involved in biomedics, as well as green energy technologies, to include EVs and the production of solar panels. Even in terms of digitalization and technology, I mean, the advancement that we have observed taking place in China, we believe we can benefit significantly. In fact, we also have a cooperation agreement with Alibaba as we seek to enhance the process of digitalization here in Antigua and Barbuda. So those are some critical areas. I mean, we have, for example, a commitment to reduce our carbon footprint by 50% by 2030, and hopefully by 2040 we can become carbon neutral. It means, therefore, that as we transition into renewables, that we can purchase more solar panels out of the PRC, even electric vehicles. I know already that there are 2 companies in China that have been pursued by Antigua and Barbudans to supply electric vehicles. In fact, I have to tell you, the technology for your EVs is astonishing. And you know what we have observed here with the modernization that has taken place in China, that it is driven by technology, and the advancement that we are observing right now in terms of the pace or the rate of growth in the improvement in technology could literally put China at the top of the food chain if it continues at this pace.
Well, after 10 years, you visited China this year again. So how is your feeling about this trip?
Well, I think I would have answered that question in terms of what I observe in terms of the modernization of the Chinese economy, the advancement in science and technology, and even the physical landscape. I observed that even in Shanghai, that Shanghai perhaps has more high-rise buildings than any other city in the entire world. Now, even 10 years ago, I don't think they were there. And it's just phenomenal, breathtaking, the modernization that has taken place in China, and especially over such a short period of time. And then when you look at the upliftment of the Chinese people during the last 4 decades, not even developing countries, G7 countries, would have had that type of accelerated growth and development in terms of lifting the people out of poverty, and so many people lifting they have a population of 1.4 billion.
The people-to-people exchanges between China and Antigua and Barbuda are also full of highlights. Many youth of Antigua and Barbuda going to China for further study, and during your visit to China, you also mentioned that Chinese tourists are welcome to visit and travel in Antigua and Barbuda. So, in your opinion, what are the highlights of the people-to-people exchanges between 2 countries?
We would like to see more direct trade between Antigua and Barbuda, and more direct trade will require the infrastructure so that our business people can travel to directly, or maybe a one-stop flight to China. So, you know, these are areas in which we are deepening our cooperation, and certainly in order to sustain any relationship, you must have a strong people-to-people engagement, even in terms of attracting investments from China in the hotel sector, in which we're very competitive. These business people must have the capacity to travel as frequently and as easily as they wish. So we have at least taken care of one aspect of it, the visa-free aspect, and the issue now is to work on transportation